We need to talk about Die Rise. I, like many others, was slightly blinded by nostalgia when thinking about this old Black Ops 2 map. Now, no, I never thought of that map as being great or even good, but I always was kind of meh towards it. Ever since I threw my old Xbox 360 in the closet about 7 years ago, I haven't gone to touch this map. Recently, I went back and played it and realized how wrong my 14-year-old self was. This map is the worst of the worst. I will go as far to say it is the worst Treyarch Zombies map of all time. Even maps that I view as objectively awful maps like Transit and Alpha Omega at least have some redeeming qualities. While sitting down to prepare this video, I was trying to think of redeeming qualities and I can only think of one that Die Rise has to offer. So let's get it out of the way. The sliquifier is really fun. While completely imbalanced, it's a very satisfying wonder weapon to use and was definitely one of the better ones that Black Ops 2 had to offer. So let's get to the bad. If gray is your favorite color, then you like Die Rise. I mean, just look around. Die Rise's colors are very washed out. The map is in desperate need of someone to just go in and crank the saturation levels up a few notches. It is unbelievably ugly. And it's kind of sad because it's like a Chinese high-rise, and like, just to think about that, you would think it'd be a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing map, but it is definitely anything but that. On top of that, Die Rise has very little to offer story-wise and feels kind of unnecessary in the grand scheme of the Black Ops 2 zombie storyline. Despite all this, I would say that gameplay is Die Rise's worst attribute. While setting up this map, you'll find yourself waiting for the elevators probably about 75% of the time. Whether it's waiting for perks to come, pack a punch, or literally just waiting to move around this poorly designed map, elevators are just an absolute necessity to play the game. The only problem is they're on a timer, so you end up needing to wait around patiently for your desired elevator to arrive. It's literally an elevator simulator. And the bad thing is, Treyarch literally waves the solution in our face. Like, there's literally an elevator key that you can use so the elevator comes straight to you. But for some godforsaken reason, they made it so it's a one-time use. On top of that, the box is completely useless on this map. The best guns are 1, the buildable sliquifier, and then there's the AN-94, the PDW, and the SVU, all of which can be bought from the wall. And speaking of buildables, Die Rise has one extra feature that it added to zombies, and that's the trample steam. In order to build this trample steam, it requires 4 parts, and all of which you will need to wait for the elevators like multiple times. Once you finally invest your entire life into building it, it turns out to be very underwhelming and is basically just used to navigate the map a little quicker. And the big problem with it is you literally have to sit by it and like babysit it, or the zombies will just destroy it if you leave it alone for like 5 seconds. Die Rise's layout is undoubtedly the worst that Treyarch has ever had. There's several areas that are literally just completely useless. The rooms on the power floor, the hallways and rooms near the sliquifier crafting table are an entire maze that you never have to go in because there's not a single reason to ever go in that area. And then the floor below the roof is also just completely pointless. And that's just to name a few. There's not many maps that would inspire me to make an entire video on how unplayable it feels, but I think Die Rise truly is the trophy winner for the worst zombies map ever made. I'm thinking about making this into like a little series where I talk about old zombies maps, hopefully in a more positive light than that of Die Rise. Drop a like on this video, it really helps with the algorithm, and follow me on Twitch.